Middle of November, folks. This is Create a Collab. James Hicks here. Thank you for being with me. And my co-host is not here, but we're sending shouts out to her. So MBH, hopefully you're doing well and get better, my friend. We will talk soon. But this is a conversation, and I was telling the guests a second ago, these aren't interviews. Right? These are just conversations with like-minded folks about like-minded topics. And today's topic happens to be around showing up for success, especially using the medium of live video, live streaming, and reaching out to one's community and one's counterparts, things of that. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about leveraging technology, leveraging media, leveraging social media, leveraging new media, all of those things. I'm just going to be quiet, and I'm going to bring somebody on the screen because, listen, nobody's here to see me. Right. Everybody here to see Tanya Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanya Smith. And she rocking, look, got merch on too. Oh, okay. I see. Hold on. I see how we both show up
Well,
looking proper.
you know,
We look,
hey, if I was going to come on your show, I knew I had to show up. Like,
you listen,
know,
but again, how to show for success. We go, I'm crazy. But Tanya, how are you, my friend? How are you been? It's been a little bit since I talked to you. Hopefully you are doing well.
I am abundantly blessed and highly favored. And I will continue to remind myself of that every day.
Okay, so we gonna mess around past the communion
That's
plate around
right.
here in a minute. If you gonna start using adjectives like that, pass them, make it plain. Pass them, make it plain.
It's real. It's real. It's
It
real
is.
talk.
There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on around us. We like to stay focused, as you know. That's one of my mantras: staying focused on you. And for the audience who unfortunately doesn't know you, which I don't understand that, but they should. I'd like you to give that elevator pitch, right? What is it that you do? What does Tanya Smith do with all of your various entities and properties, right? The get noticed with video, the stream like a boss TV, things of that. What is it that you concentrate on when you turn these lights on and you press record?
Yeah, my real focus is to help people to amplify their voices, people who feel that they aren't heard, that they can't be heard, that somehow they're just not good enough, they don't have enough, they're not enough, right? But my official my official job title is as a video marketing strategist. And so my focus in my Stream Like a Boss TV show is to teach live stream marketing strategies. So strategies to help particularly service businesses to really leverage live video to create conversations that transform their audience from crickets to cash. That's what I like to say. Um, Everything that I do in the space of video literally is about building your brand. It's about creating a system that works and fits within your lifestyle so that you can use video, because a lot of people say that they can't use it because it's too complicated, it's too hard,
Mm.
they're not ready. And so what I want to do is to help them to systematize that so that they can leverage it and get those crickets to cash, like move people from being lurkers into becoming leads and into becoming paid clients. I mean, that's what I do.
That's huge. Crickets to cash. If you have you trademarked that? Because listen, I've been messing around and put that on the next.
Look, don't mess around. Don't mess around. I already got Stream Like a Boss TV, or Stream
Yes, you
Like a
do.
Boss is registered trademark. Hey,
Yes, you do. And
I'm
see
working on other things.
that. So all that right there, and then I'm just gonna deviate. I'm looking over here at my runner show notes, but I'm gonna throw those out the window. I'm gonna say shouts out to I see some folks coming in, Mr. Stone. I see you, brother. Appreciate you for being here as well.
What's
Um,
up?
the fact that you have I asked you for the 35,000 foot level, but you brought it in for landing. I mean, you brought it down below 10,000 foot. You knew exactly who it is that you are, who it is that you do. When you search service industries, you knew exactly who your focus area is.
Yeah.
How did you get to that point? Right, because that's critical. A lot of times we talk about niching down. A lot of times we talk about who is it that you're trying to serve, who is it you want to serve. But you were
Mhm.
very succinctly like you stand in front of the mirror for like the last 4 years or however long, and you've practiced that, you know that like the back of your hand.
It's
How
true.
important is that piece right there, knowing who it is that you are and what is it that you serve?
Um, First of all, I'll say this for people who are thinking about it and they're like, "Man, I don't feel like I'm that clear yet."
Mm,
I think the most important thing to remember is that it is a journey, and it has taken me some considerable time to get to the place to where I feel confident about who I want to work with. I had to go through a lot of different iterations of this business, a lot of different iterations of the audiences that I wanted to serve because I used to buy into what my former beauty consultant sales director used to tell us, which was everyone with skin is your customer. I
mm,
used to buy into that. And what I found is that I don't have a couple of things. I don't have unlimited resources in terms of money to do marketing to everyone with skin.
right.
Um, I also don't have unlimited patience and tolerance
Mm,
for
mm, mm.
everyone with skin. There are
Oh
certain
my God.
people based on your value system, based on who you are as a person, based on what you know you love and don't love, the people that you know you vibe with and you don't. I think that you have an opportunity if you experiment by working with different people to figure out, okay, let me take a left here because that didn't quite work out. So I did a lot of that. I mean, I might sound like I'm clear now, but give me 10 years ago and I definitely was not clear. So it's a process and it's just a process over time of me experimenting and figuring out what I like and what I don't like. And I'm very convicted about how I want to live my life, especially in this moment. And so who I choose to put into my space
Okay.
and clients don't just choose you, you also get to choose your clients.
My goodness. Listen, I can't push these stream deck buttons fast enough. I'm trying to, hey, Chris, I'm over here trying to make, I'm talking to Chris Stone. I'm trying to make markers because you know I'm going to chop all this up.
Well,
Slow down, child. Okay. And we got people coming in. I see folks coming in. Danny Marie, I see you. Listen, I see Dad in the building. So yeah, we have officially started. Carlos, good to see you guys. Let me back to something else because I'm gonna probably picking some scabs here. That didn't sound right. Um,
what?
but yeah, listen again. I'm fresh off the plane 5 6 hours ago.
He
Y'all
is, yeah.
know. Okay, I'm just pray for me. You talked about you don't have enough resource or you don't have an unlimited supply of resource. You talked about finance, but I want to bring that back because our most valuable resource is our time.
Yes.
And if we aren't aligned with, it's selfish here, but I think you know where I'm going with this. If we're not aligned with folks who have like-minded, like goals, like drive, I can't motivate you, so not motivation, but
Yep.
if you have the drive, you have the determination and the will to get out and go do the thing.
Yes.
I can't spend my time waiting for you,
Mhm.
or I can't have you in that what I'm going to consider an inner circle. Right. Because
Yes.
in an inner circle of folks, it are folks that don't always have to agree with me, but man, we pushing. We out here really trying to do like this quote on the back of my wall here says, put a dent in the universe.
Yes.
We out here trying to move forward and talk a little bit about. I'm bringing this back to our conversation and to our topic, but talk to us a little bit about how you came to that realization and how difficult it was to separate the friends, family, acquaintances, or the business colleagues versus the business associates, right? To delineate your time and your resource and your
Mhm.
finance and your emotion, all of those things, and divide that how you show up every single day. Does that make
I
sense?
think
I know I'm crazy. I had a lot of
no, no,
mezcal this past
no.
2 weeks, but I just want to make sure I'm coming true.
We're usually like, right, we're like this. So I'm following you. I'm following you. And I
Okay, you
think
following.
so I'm going to say this and it may not apply to everybody, right? But I'm going to speak from cuz you asked me the question, I'm going to speak from my own experiences and filters. And I will
Mm,
say this, being someone who has over the years juggled a lot of things and made a choice to continue to do her corporate job, manage 2 to 3 households at a time, because my husband's overseas most of the time. The side gig, which is turned darn near full time, right? Which is the video stuff. All of that, because I made that choice, it was even more, it was even a heightened awareness for me about where my time is spent. And so it is incredibly important. And I do believe this from the bottom of my heart for everybody. It's important for you to identify what is important to you. What is the value of the things? How do you prioritize things in your life? Okay.
Mm.
So prioritizing my family time and making sure that I had left time for them, where I have time for them first, that's number one. Making sure that I have time for my faith and for my spiritual wellness and well being. That's also important. Making sure that I serve people in a way that I know I'm meant to serve is important. So, priorities and values first. Once I looked at those things, when certain people would come into my space, and I'm gonna give you some examples. Certain people would come into my space, you over time, if you as you mature in your business and you grow, you start to identify that one is not for me. So if I would have, I'm gonna give you a really clear example. I knew in the early days, I was like, let me take on everybody because if this person says they want me to come and speak about this topic at their event, I need to be there because I just need the visibility. And visibility was a priority for me. I wasn't thinking about my real values, my true system of thinking and thought and love. I was thinking, oh, I just need to get out there because everybody's saying you need to be visible. And
Mm.
so someone would ask me to come and speak at a relationship conference. I don't even talk about relationships, but I did this because
Okay.
she said, "Well, you and your spouse, you've been married so long, you need to come and speak at my conference. Will you please come?" And so finally I went and I did it. And here's what happened. And these are lessons learned along the way, y'all. So once you learn your lesson, and I'm kind of one of those that gets hit upside the head a lot before I really, really learn it. But in this instance, I went and I spoke at this conference. First of all, I was late. I'm never late for anything.
Mm.
I'm always early. Um, I was practically late for this conference. I did not have heart in speaking about the topic. And at the end, I was like, I don't even have anything I want to point people to because I don't want to work with any of these people or with
Wow.
relationships. Like, this is not my thing. And when I got off of that call, they weren't joyful because I wasn't joyful about the
And you can
topic I was
sense it,
talking.
right? You could sense it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and this was an audio conference, so this was back in the day when I was doing a lot more audio summits
Okay.
and stuff like that, but I could tell, the
Mm-hmm.
crickets, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's silent. Um, but I left that call with the conviction that I will never again speak on topics that I do not have enthusiasm around, I don't feel passionate about, and I know nothing about.
Mm.
And so that was a lesson that I learned from that instance. I also worked with a client who hated technology. And you already know, like, I love technology. I love tech. You love tech.
What we
Um,
do.
yeah. And here's how I knew she didn't love it. When she asked to meet with me and I sent her my calendar, she's like, oh no, just call me at this phone number.
Mm-mm. Oh Lord.
And I was like, yeah, my time, my calendar, my schedule doesn't allow for me to just do that. I don't just pick up the phone and call people. I don't call people on the phone much anymore without any type of appointment. As a matter of fact, my whole household, everything I do every minute of the day, it is written into a calendar. And if it ain't on the calendar, it ain't happening. My
Not gonna
kids
get
know
done.
this, everybody know, right? So
Man.
I tried and I went ahead and called, and it was the worst client consulting relationship I've ever experienced. I can tell you nightmares about working with this person until finally I had to politely let her go and refund her money because I just could not. The stress was overwhelming. So when you run into those situations, which you will, especially if you're newer, you learn from them and you start to form a framework of how you work. And that honestly is how I've done this, Hicks, is it's just mistakes, trial and error.
But you're willing to Except when you make the mistakes. And this is something me and my wife tell our kids all the time. We want you to fall down.
Yes,
We want you to go through life and we want you to experience things. We're not going to help you up all the time. We guide you, and you've sat in this house and you ate all our food for 22 years. We want you to trip and fall, but get back up.
yes,
Learn from what you did. Try not to make that same mistake again. Learn from it, get up and go out there and keep conquering the world. Right? You realize from those instances of going out there and finding out that all money isn't good money.
that's right.
Uh-oh. Folks, everybody looking for the bag out there. You know, all money isn't good money, especially if you can't show up. Right? If you can't bring if you can't bring Tanya to it. And
Mm-mm.
for me, if I can't bring my jazz hands, listen, I'm on stage a lot. And if I don't bring the jazz hands, it's no good.
He needs the jazz hand,
I do.
y'all.
Listen, folks around me know if I'm on stage talking at a conference, if I'm not emoting like this and showing some energy and showing
Yeah,
some enthusiasm, like you said, some passion in what we do,
yeah,
and showing up for success with live video, you can't hide from these 3,000-4,000 cameras that we got in front of us. Oh, I don't want to tell everybody how much I didn't.
he got the 3,
I
4,
don't want to tell
5,000.
everybody,
No,
but
that's not me.
you know what I'm saying? We can't fake this piece right here.
That's right.
I'm looking dead in your face. I'm looking dead at the folks that are watching on all of our channels. I appreciate you for pairing this with your channels as well. I'm loving seeing your audience. Carlos, we're going to get to your statement here in just a second. But that part right there is critical. Right. Again,
Yeah.
knowing that all money ain't good money, knowing that if you don't show up the right way, you're not going to be successful. I want to bring it back a little bit and give you some flowers here, kind of some things that you just mentioned. Your onboarding process for seemingly any and everything that you do, just like you said, your calendar, if it ain't on the calendar, folks. And if you in the comments and you ever been on any of Tanya's shows, events, sessions, listen, she will send you 3, 4, 5 emails making sure that you
Yep.
show up on time and that you know what you're supposed to be talking about when you
Yeah.
do show up. Right?
Yeah.
Methodical, to the point, not messing around, because again, time is that most critical asset. And just the fact that
Mhm.
you've translated that into your business is I think is a huge takeaway and a huge win that folks need to know about as well.
You know, I think if you are thoughtful and intentional about the steps that you take people through, then you reach the intended goal, you get the intended outcome. And so I'm all
Mm.
about outcome, and I'm so solution and outcome focused that everything I look at, I'm working backwards from what do I want? When I go into a conversation with someone, and I learned this probably in my corporate role because I used to be in investigations and there's other roles of similar nature that I've been in. And my ultimate thought is I want to get to a specific outcome. So when I learned, I studied NLP, so
Mm.
master practitioner, all of
Mm-hmm.
that. The number one thing that I love to walk away with is a well-formed outcome at the beginning so we can work backwards and say, okay, these are the steps that will get me to this place. So when I knew that I wanted to create a guest interview process, what you mentioned, right? When I know I wanted to create that, I think about what's the experience that I want guests to have? Like, how do I want this to go? What do I want it to look like and to be like for the audience? And I'm working backwards from those outcomes that I want to create. And that's where the systems come from.
You kind of use that as well with your Archetype quiz,
Yes.
right? Because again, I don't want to give it away, but you see how I just flowed into that right there.
I see that.
Come on now, I ain't new. We do this. Um,
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna let you explain it instead of me talking. But again, it's seemingly that is exactly what this is as well, right? Again, identifying an outcome even
Yes.
before the conversation happens. And if you can't answer this quick, you explain it.
Yeah. The archetypes
Lord, I
quiz
can't even
is
say it right now. What I call it, listen, I'm from the country. Okay,
Be
shouts out to
fine.
Hampton, Virginia. I'm from
Look,
the country, so I
you
can't get
wait,
my
did you say Hampton? I was like 5 years in Hampton, Virginia as a kid. That's crazy.
this is Langley Air Force Base. Langley Air Force Base know me. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, this archetype quiz, that's funny. We have to talk about that more.
Yes.
Um, I created that from the angle of I know that people feel one of the common things that people would tell me is that they didn't feel like they had the right personality for live streaming.
Mm.
Like there was this one personality and only that one personality would be successful. And I had to kind of combat that because I am probably the opposite of what anybody who would do live streaming would say you should be. Like I'm not an extrovert. I'm a big old introvert. I love to just be chill. I don't have to be dressed up all the time. Look, baseball cap, t-shirts. I am I'm not a typical person online, I think. And I'm saying that to say you can be whoever you are authentically, and there's still a space for you. There's room for you to use video. And so I created this quiz to say, okay, take the quiz and let me give you some ideas on how you
Mm.
can really improve your presence no matter what your personality. But if you're this particular type of personality, if you're more introverted, this may be a persona that you can really step into. You can step into the space of being someone who is more of an educator and informer versus being an
Mm.
entertainer.
Got you.
So I wanted to give people permission to be able to step into the role that fits them best, the outfit that suits them the most when it comes to doing video.
Does that still allow you to be? Is that still throwing too wide of a net? Just a curiosity asking that question, right? Because again, you're allowing us to come in to say who we are, who we represent, what we're trying to do. Does that still stretch you too thin by trying to fit everyone's personality type into one of your programs? And
Mm-mm.
just asking out of curiosity.
'Cause there are gonna be specific programs that are gonna be more likely to suit certain people. What it does is it gives people a reason to either opt out
Got you.
or it gives them a reason to say, "You know
Come
what?
on.
I this feels like this is right for me. Let me explore more." So when they have the discovery call with me, which they're invited to do after they attend a workshop, because they get invited to a workshop that goes deeper into personality types, because I've also been a Myers-Briggs facilitator. So I go deeper into, let's talk about your personality and how this actually plays out with video. But then if you don't want anything more from me, if you got some nuggets out of that, yay. If you do want to get into a group where you have support and you have co-working opportunities and all of that, I got that. If you want to know more about the technical side, then I recommend that. But I'm going to recommend based on what I've learned about you and your personality, as well as our conversation.
Mm.
So, yeah, there's still opportunities to narrow this down even more and to direct people in a path that I think is best suited for them. And what I love to tell folks is I'm always going to be honest with you. And if I don't feel like we're the right fit, I'm going to send you to other resources that I know and love.
Love that. Love that. And thank you for. Hopefully, I didn't pry too much. But again,
Yeah.
I never want to assume, right? And
No,
again,
that's good stuff.
you go into, especially if folks are expending in those two valuable resources, finance and time.
Yes.
If I'm going to click on streamlikeaboss.tv and talk to Tanya Smith, I know it's going to be of value as we're hearing in the comments. But I just want to make sure that folks realize that it's not just some blanket. I did an AI search and created a course. No,
Nope.
this is specific to you and how I being Tanya can serve you. So I love that. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Because I'm
Carlos,
not for
oh, go.
everyone. I have a t-shirt that says I'm not for everyone, and that's
Lord
the
have
truth.
mercy. Lord have mercy. See, there she go again. She's
I'm
taking
just
all
saying.
my ideas. I'm trying to come up with some new merch, and she got
Whatever.
some new merch. Hey, let me throw this up on there. You better check out. Okay, see, I had to throw my little call to action up there. Carlos had an interesting statement. I want to bring that up. He says,
Okay.
I do what I call circles. The circles represent who you truly connect with for infrastructure and outer circle who don't relate to what you are doing. And very
Mhm.
similar to what we've been talking about as well. And I like that. Just wanted to bring that up and not overlook that as well.
I like that, Carlos. He's a
Carlos
sharp
in
guy.
here. Well, Carlos up here bringing some value.
He
Okay.
does all the
I,
time.
I love it. I love it. Showing up for video, showing up for live, showing up for community. How do you stay? How do you not get? How do you stay out of your own way? Right? Because we, as creators, we as solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, we tend to try to know a little something about everything that's going on. It could be
Yeah.
hardware, it could be software, it could be services, it could be right. How do you stay out of your own way and ensure that when a Rich Vibes or a David Hunt or a Carlos Phoenix reaches out to you for a specific need, how do you not be biased? Because all these platforms, all these tools, all these whatever. How do you consciously, again, stay out of your own way to make sure that you're serving that individual?
Um, when someone reaches out to me, first of all, the thing that I think is important because I am a trained consultant and coach. So I've been
Mm,
doing this for years, way before I did anything with video. The thing that's important to me about coaching and consulting is we have to remember it's not advice first, it's listen first. Like, I need to listen to what you're saying is the issue in your mind. How have you defined what the problem is so that I can then really kind of process that, validate it by asking you questions that help us both be clear on what the problem is so that we can then dive into what are some possibilities and opportunities. And I never ever tell anybody that there is one right way. So, how I stay out of my own way is look, I'm an opinionated woman. So, if anybody asks me any type of question, I'm going to have an opinion about it more than likely. But the way I have to check myself on that when it comes to working with people who are coming to me for solutions because I can easily just offer my opinion,
yeah,
but it's really not about that. It's about what is their reality? Like, how are they seeing this issue? And how can we give them options and pathways that they can look at so they make the decision? It's not my decision to make.
there we go.
So
That's
it
where I was.
really is a good.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That little secret. That's exactly where I wanted to go. So okay, I apologize for
Okay.
interrupting, but I was waiting for
No, that's
that
good.
right there. I was waiting for that right there. Okay.
Gut
I
check.
I know I'm terrible, but again that's it right there. Right? Just the fact that and folks listen and pay attention. We haven't talked about individualized applications, technology pieces, or anything. It's again showing up for success during video, especially around consultancy and raising this level of conversation to a business side. How do we bring value to you, the end customer, and identifying what those needs are? Right. You may be a PC person, you may be a Mac person, you may be whatever the case may be. But again, no one's talked about individual tools, but methodologies for you to be successful, and it's distinct, and it's very subtle. But again, the fact that I haven't said, or you didn't say, I only tell folks to go to my Amazon page, and all I got out there for cameras is Sony. I
Yeah.
only tell folks for uh, to use ClickUp instead of Notion, or right, we didn't not at that level. It's
Mm-mm.
much more of a higher level, and I know that's one of the reasons, more flowers, why you are so successful at engaging with folks, building community, and expanding on your various digital properties. Just again, because you raise that level of conversation. How to be successful in video, get out of the weeds, get out of your own way, and focus on the individual, on the person that you're working with.
Yeah.
I'm out here dropping gems myself. Good Lord. Okay.
You dropping them.
Folks, come on now. You got questions for Tanya, put them out there because y'all didn't come here to hear me talk, but she's already dropping some amazing information. Um, Let me ask you this. Let's get back to this right here as well. Um, how do you know for your specific outreach where to put those messages out? Again, everyone's so inundated with information,
Yeah.
information, misinformation, whatever the case may be. Folks, we're inundated with stimuli across the internet. How do you lock in on where to push out content and information and value to your community?
Um, this has been interesting for me. It's been a journey even over the last 6 months to a year because, yeah, we all know that there have been different, social platforms, for instance, that have come and gone, right?
Hmm.
Imploded, exploded. There are lots of different ways that we can communicate from a social standpoint, and that has been my primary method of reaching people for a long time, but I realized I gave myself permission this year that I don't have to be everywhere.
Mm,
I know so and so says you're supposed to be on these 5 different platforms, but I decided I just wanna really spend more time intentionally on these 2 or 3. Like, I get
okay.
to say that. So I know I wanna build my YouTube channel, and when I look at my objectives and my goals and how I want to create wealth and build revenue for my business, I know that YouTube is one that is a winner. I know that even though I just really wasn't a LinkedIn person, I've done better with LinkedIn this year than I usually have. I had reasons. I won't dig into all those reasons, but I'll just say there were very specific things that I thought through when making the choice of where I decided to play. So it's a matter of where I want to play 'cause I think that does matter. Where do you want to be? I decided to leave Twitter. I gave up my Twitter account, it had 12,000 followers. It was my largest audience online because that's where I initially started building on social. I deleted that account because I don't wanna play there anymore. That's my
Yeah.
personal choice. Um, I decided to put my toes in the water with Blue Sky and with, what is it, Threads recently? You saw me out
Yeah.
there on Threads
Yeah.
last night, right?
Yeah.
I'm I'm in little places and kinda touching base, and here's the thing, I made the decision that I can give myself permission to play where I want to, but I also wanna play where I know my people are. Where are my ideal audience members, my ideal clients and potential clients, where are they? So I can be in their spaces, and then how do I play differently in each one? Because I don't wanna share cookie cutter stuff in every single one.
Yeah.
My Facebook profile has a specific type of cadence to it, and it's a place where I can connect with people who are friends, family, and clients. My LinkedIn is a lot more conservative and a lot more standardized, and I don't share all the same stories. My threads now, if I'm going in the direction I think I'm going, is going to be a lot more personal and a lot more thought driven. Like if I get up and I have a vision about something and I want to share it, then I'm going to share that. But thinking through 3 things. What do I want to where do I want to spend time?
Yeah.
Where are my potential clients going to spend time? And how do I want to operate in that space? Those are the ways that I'm selecting. And if I don't feel confident that a place is for me, if I don't feel safe, if I don't feel passionate, enthusiastic, if it feels like a job to be in a space, I just won't be there anymore.
Read between the lines, folks. We bringing we dropping it right now about some things, right? And I'm glad you went there because I'm considering leaving. I'll always call it Twitter. I never call it X as well because that's how I started. I know Dorsey. I know Jack Dorsey, right? So I mean,
Mhm.
I've got connections from that perspective, legacy connections. But I've been with Blue Sky also since week one, and
Yeah.
again, we've talked about information versus misinformation, but we don't necessarily have to go down a political route. And again, it's where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe. That's critical as well. It's
Yep.
also, like you said, where your community is. The one thing that I also wanted to mention, and I wanted you to talk about as well, was being in the place that you own,
Yes.
right? Starting with your own digital real estate, right? Your own getnoticewithvideo.com.
Yep.
You own that, and you can drive the messaging from the sites that you own, and then
Yeah.
all of those other networks. You're on the threads, you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, whatever. You can push folks to the resource that you own, because who knows what Zuckerberg is going to do with his
Right.
platforms? Who knows what Musk is going to do now that he is now being
Mhm.
elevated to various positions throughout, right?
Yeah.
But no one will get noticed with video.com away from you.
And they won't take Stream Like a Boss, and they won't
Shout out to,
take
come
Stream
on now.
Boss's Academy.
Say,
Look,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the communities, the paid communities that I play on, they will not ever be on somebody else's real estate. I
So,
don't even do those on WordPress anymore. They will be
oh
on
man,
my
me too.
real estate. Okay, I'm just saying.
No, so you know about, all right, deviation. All right, squirrel moment.
Okay.
You WordPress. Did I tell you that I part of Automatic? I used to be part of Automatic. I know Matt. I know Matt Mullenweg.
What?
So
Okay.
I've been getting a lot of this stuff. All the drama that's happening with WordPress right now.
Yes. Been hearing about it.
Lord have mercy. I won't go down the rabbit hole, but yeah, WordPress. There's a lot of infighting amongst family and
Yeah.
friends. And I got to watch what I say, because I said something a few weeks ago, and I got barraged by a lot of my WordPress colleagues. But
Uh-oh.
I've even taken my Hicks New Media is no longer on WordPress either,
Mm.
which
Well,
was a huge move and kind of hurt to the core. But when you have that loss of focus on serving community, and when you start
yeah.
dealing with dollars and not making sense, when you start dealing with different types of external issues, and you lose that focus on what your core goal was, I had to step away
Mhm.
from that too.
Yep.
And so this is very introspective for me as well, very selfish for me, just because I wanted to hear your thoughts on, again, this evolving tide of information, misinformation, and where you're going to serve
Yeah.
your people. I like what Erica Bakes was saying. She says she loves seeing you on LinkedIn. So folks are seeing you there, and the information that you're putting out there is relevant. I won't put all your links up in the description right now. I'll let you do that, but I'll point folks back in the description to this video, to your main sites. And then again, if you want to have
Yeah.
access to your threads and your IG and all that stuff, they can do that. But I'm not gonna
Yeah.
overstep that bounds. But
Yeah.
yeah,
If you go to
it's an interesting time in it.
streamlikeaboss.tv, that's it, streamlikeaboss.tv, and you'll find all my socials on @videocoach Tanya. So, yeah, follow, connect wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you're playing and having and creating spaces. But yeah, to your point, um, this is a moment in history where I wrote a post about this not too long ago, a couple days ago, because I just woke up and it was on my heart. But
Hmm.
ultimately, the point was we have to, right now in this moment, really be protective of our hearts and our minds and our stories. We can't let other people rewrite our stories about who we are, what we are, and what we bring in terms of value. We don't have to do that. I'm not giving that away to anyone else to do. And so think about when I think about that and I think about my 2 daughters and what they're going to have to deal with in the coming years, my point was I'm creating communities and spending time in communities where I can support others and lift others up, and they also support and lift me up because we need that. We cannot
Hmm.
be in isolation and feel under attack and feel that we're not worthy and be we just can't. We can't fade away. And so I am creating intimate communities. I don't love being a part, I never really did love being a part of really large communities for learning or for masterminding or for co working. That's never been my thing anyway. But it's even now more relevant than ever to create spaces that you own, you can control, you have access to.
Yeah.
Something I told my daughters the other day, I said, the person who wins is the person who has the most access. Never let anyone take access away from you. You make decisions based on how much access you can get to information. How much education can you get? Right? So when we start allowing other people to create spaces and plop us into those spaces, they're controlling the information. They're controlling the access. We need to be independent thinkers and we need to be supportive of each other. And to me, that is the gem. That is how we're going to survive. Business, professional, personal, you name it. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I've been
Now I
talking
need you
too.
to stay there because I'm gonna push more. I'm gonna open up some more of these bones. But I want to bring it back just to the topic, and hopefully, folks are seeing that we're not coming tactical today, right? We're coming very strategic, and if you're not thinking strategically about what you spend that finance and that time resource on, specifically today, as it comes to being successful using live video, you're not going to be able to sustain that. And what Tanya is saying, folks, again, get out of that minutia, get out of that realm of hate, get out of that realm of naysay. Just get out of the noise. I talk a lot about rising above the noise level and getting out of that and staying locked in, staying focused on you, staying focused on your true goal. That's how you be success. It's
Mhm.
not, again, at that tactical level. Again, it's not the mic, it's not the camera, it's not the lights. I'm talking about showing up on video. It's always been about the content. It's always been about driving value. It's about being attentive to all these comments that are coming in and make sure that we're putting them on the screen and we're acknowledging folks, because Tanya and I, we don't do this for ourselves. Well, I could go back and take a nap because I'm slightly jet lagged. So listen, I could go
I
I could go
thought you were
back.
gonna cancel. I was like, he been in the air?
Lord have mercy, So I could go back and take a nap, but this is important because I even got text messages from folks saying, I want to make sure that I'm there for this session. I want to see it. I want to hear it. My co-host Melanie Diana Howe was unable to make it today because she's dealing with some things, but so I can go ahead and still do it. We show up for the community and we try to bring as much energy, much passion, and some insights to folks that are watching, because that's where the true value is. That's where the true value is. Listen, Michelle O'Neill talking about, listen, I needed this today. So there we go. We did what we needed to do. Not only does she need this, and not only are you talking to the folks here on this stream, either live or recorded, but other folks are seeing what you're doing. Other folks
Yeah.
realize Tanya Smith is the truth, folks. Okay, come on now. We gonna get some flowers. We gonna get some flowers because this lady right here is gonna be in Florida in January talking that talk. Hundreds of folks
Yeah.
were submitted applications and topics and subjects, but not many were chosen to get up on that stage at Podfest Expo 2025. Talk to us a little bit about this, the feeling, and maybe give us a little spoiler alert in terms of what you may be talking about.
Yeah, so I put my name in the hat because I actually attended last year. Actually earlier this year in January 2024, I attended for the first time and I was really, really, really excited about everything I was hearing. And there were some conversations that were taking place. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be just transparent because I know I can do that with you. But
Yeah.
there were some conversations out in the audience amongst people of color in particular that were saying, why are there not more? Right. Now, I will say my personal impression was I love the diversity that I see. I love that I see so many people of different colors, shapes, sizes on these stages here. This is one of the first events where I've seen that. And I was actually pretty impressed, but I was hearing some other things from certain people, right? And so I'm usually not one, I love doing digital. I mean, I've been on physical stages in the past. The older I get, the less I care about traveling and being on anybody's stage or being in some high heels. Imma just be honest. But I thought, "Why not? Let me just put my name in the hat and see." And I did not initially I don't think I got selected for round 1. So round 2, I put in my name in the hat again and said, look, not only did I put my name in the hat and do a submission, but I also followed through with a video saying, this is why you need me. Like, this is why I need to be there and why my topic is relevant. And I won't speak to my topic yet because I'm still supposed to be in discussions about finalizing what that's going to be. But of course, it's going to be about video. And they have a whole video podcasting track this coming year that they didn't have in January. Because that was one of the things I went to Chris, the founder, and said, hey, can we talk more about video? Because all I'm hearing is about audio podcasting, right? But he didn't know me. He's like, who is she? So I did submit, and I submitted in addition to the video clip saying, this is what the topic is about. This is why I think it's important for your audience. And I'm excited to see you select me. Like, put me in, coach. Right.
Listen,
So,
nothing
I
wrong
ended
with
up
being
getting it.
confident. Nothing wrong with being confident, right? Especially when you know you're bringing value to an audience. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's huge. That anytime folks recognize and see your value and want you to come and share that, and then you give proof to your value, right? This is why you need to put me in, coach. This is what I bring to your audience, and this is what you can give to me, and this is what I can give to you. And again, it's not always financial. It can be in various levels, but they saw the work. I'm thinking that they really you did your submission and you told them, yeah, I'm good. Y'all you better recognize Google me.
Basically. No, I'm
Right.
just.
That's what I say. I said it because that's what I say a lot of times. Listen, y'all better go to page 2 because page 1 of James Hicks is murderous. It
Oh,
is.
my.
So go to page 2 for me.
And I'm
But
always trying to be on page 1. So
I'm
something of mine is going to be on page 1.
we're gonna get you there. 2025. Let's starting in January. Was it January the 17th, Friday when you doing the
Yep,
track there?
somewhere between the 16th and the 18th,
Oh
somewhere
yeah,
in there, I'll be able to
we gonna
speak
be
on
there.
it.
We're gonna be there throwing
Yeah.
confetti. But I want to get back to that because again I had another squirrel moment. But just the fact that again confident, there's nothing wrong with being confident. It's not arrogant. It's not cocky. It's not that. But
Mm-mm.
if you're confident in your skills and you're confident in what you can bring to an audience and to a community, don't be bashful about that. Don't be humble.
And also be mindful that, look, there should be, when I talk about diversity, I'm not just talking about skin color. I'm talking about personality types. I'm
Come
talking
on.
about bringing a different spin to things that maybe somebody else said, but you're saying it in a way that nobody else can say it because of your unique set of experiences, backgrounds, and stories. And I know that I can bring that. And that was what I was talking about, not, hey, y'all need some more, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
was saying you need more in terms, everybody shouldn't be the same on some of these stages because the people that are showing up are not the same.
Yes.
And so we need to hit people at all levels when it comes to talking about podcasting, video, all of that. And I felt like there was something that I could bring that may be missing in some of the spaces that they had last year. So,
Yeah, and that value is something that a number of us in our various communities bring to bear. Shouts out to your doc. I see your brother. He says he was the video track last year with Roberto. Uh,
he was.
but again, if you're in the room with a whole bunch of the same folks, there's no healthy conversation. There's no healthy debate. There's nothing wrong with debate. We can debate if we can be respectful, but again, and also different points of view, different personalities, especially again as we're talking about back to the topic here, we're leveling up for success, leveling up with live video, and how to show up the right way. If someone is real passionate, because again, a lot of times technology even can be a religious debate. Right? It can be something
And
you're locked into PC, you're locked into Mac, you're locked into iOS, you're locked into Android, right? Again, and you're trying to again raise that conversation from that tactical level to be more strategic. That's where the healthy debate comes in. And again, someone gets that aha moment. Tanya's going to be on that stage or in that room talking about. Think about it this way,
mhm.
and just one or two people. Okay, when one or two were gathered, we about to go to church. We wanted to
He about to
again.
pass the plate again.
I would listen. We about to go to church. We
I think he about to pass the plate.
I did. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. But that's where I think again it's gonna be an amazing event just for folks. And I'm already excited for you because when you get off the stage, when you get done, when you hand them the clicker, and all the folks that are gonna, I'm gonna see them. I see them in my head right now. All the folks that are gonna rush the stage, right?
I
And
know. I'm gonna let hopefully Doc will be there to hold me up so I can go.
he'll be there. You
Be
know what?
like,
I may
"What?"
when it's January 25th. Man, I'll be at I'll be at CES still. Okay. We
It's
may
all
find
good.
a
You'll
way.
be there in
We may find
spirit.
a way to bring the crew there. Bring a cheering squad in the back right there. As the doc says, true story. Even I think conferences should have the start with me people. Beginners can present to and show that perspective.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Give people different perspectives. You never know what your set of experiences and stories will do for someone who is sitting there listening and they just keep thinking, well, I'll never be at that level, right? They need to see the steps. So I do. And not only that, I mean, I might be newer in the video space, but I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to business and strategy and
Yeah.
content marketing. I've been around for more than 20, well, almost 20 years now, in the coaching space, in business world, in digital. And so there are things that I'm going to bring that are different than someone like a Roberto Blake, who is amazing when it comes to YouTube, or even a Doc, or even a whoever. There were a lot of people that were there that were like big ticket podcasters and that type of thing. But I think there's room for so many voices to come and to be able to share a different perspective that's somehow going to just trigger that one idea that
Yeah.
person needs to be able to move forward. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I'm a proponent for that in and of itself anyway, because I get tired of hearing the same old folks. Right, right, because you locked into the same old methodologies a lot of times, and I love and I want to hear different and new perspectives, especially in this industry, right? Again, and what we're doing, digital entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and creators.
Yeah.
Everything that we do evolves and changes every 6, 8, 10 months. So knowing what's happening within the industry allows us to be a subject matter expert, allows
Mhm.
us to be that trusted advisor. I got my either finger on the pulse, I'm in front of the curve, or I know what's coming. I can help advise the person that wants to come up behind me. I can help advise and consult the person who is spending X number of dollars for my time and my service.
Yep.
I can't get that if I'm talking to the same old cats that been doing this for right, right, right again. So I need some new blood. I need some even this old man needs some new blood. I want to bring up this comment here from Carlos says, looking forward to chatting with Tanya soon. Confidence is my middle name. Go ahead, Carlos. I ain't mad at you, brother. Confidence is his middle
Carlos
name. I
confident.
never speak if my knowledge isn't solid. I'm gonna take a drink to that, brother. He says. I
I
love it.
love it.
Bruh. Presentations that are exactly the same. See, Doc and I, we come from the school of Mac. We are members of the cult of Mac. He and I worked at Apple for a number of years, and we are. He gets it, and I get it. There's just a whole different mentality about presentation, about um, giving information, call to action. It's just a whole different perspective that we learn from being inside of Infinite Loop and Cupertino. Just knowing how to spur up emotion. And again, I can't motivate you, but I can spur up that emotion in you. And if you've already got that drive in you, I can light those embers. I can help light those embers and steer you in the right direction. So um, I don't want to take all your time, but I kind of do now. Again, because now I'm awake. Because
Now you're
what time?
awake?
Because it's 12 my time against yeah, 24 hours ago I was drinking some mezcal and some other things early in the day. But
Yeah.
now I got to get back locked in, get focused because I got you on the line. But we can
You
get
got
going
stuff
now if
to
you want.
do.
No, um, See, this is all bad. Doc, you got to get on
Hey,
here too one of these
hey.
days, but this is good stuff. This is what we do. Create a collab today, specifically talking about showing up professionally, showing up the right way, leveraging and using this forum of digital and live video. Sounds very ostentatious. Never used that word before in my life, but I felt like using it today. It sounds very big, but if if you don't do it the right way the first time, that's okay.
Mhm.
I'm following back to kind of how we started this conversation. We've learned, we've done a few things, tried to spread the net wide, tried to boil the ocean, saw that didn't work, pulled back, and weren't apprehensive or weren't ashamed of
Mhm.
dialing back,
Mm-mm.
right? Realizing that we couldn't satisfy, please,
Yeah.
serve every single person out there. What's next for you as we start closing out this calendar year and going into the next calendar year? What's next for Tanya Smith?
I am in the process of heavily I'm in creation mode right now. So there are certain things that I need to do from a strategic angle. There's certain things I'm doing to position right now. There's some decisions that I've made, and now it's communicating those out to, for instance, my membership community about changes. I'm opening up time in my calendar so that I can get certain offers done so that they'll be ready to go. Putting all these things in place so that my framework is ready for 2025. So I'm not doing any Black Friday sales for anybody who might be interested. I'm not doing that. My focus truly is on solidifying the funnel that I've put together that I know is sharp, that I know is going to work, that I know is going to put people in the right places so that they can thrive and succeed and grow with me. And so that is one of the things I'm looking at writing my book in 2025. So I'm positioning and putting certain people and resources in place for that. I am preparing to do a potentially a live event that might be 2026, but right now, maybe Q3, Q4. So I've got stuff in the works. Here's the main thing. My main thing is I have a soon to be senior in high school. So
Yeah,
my number one thing really is I'm putting all these things in place right now and laying it out so I can really focus on getting her through her senior year and figuring out which college she's going to go to.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, talk to me when you get there, because I got two of them there right now, and that's why I got all this gray hair.
Yeah, one is finishing. She finishes her master's in December. So next month she's done. Like her master's is done and she's on the road. Like she's got her job and all of that. Now I got to get the other one ready for life.
Amen.
So that's priority.
And that's we wouldn't have it any other way, will we?
Mm-mm.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
But
That's
then ask me, come
wow.
see me in 2026 because I don't know. I'm gonna be an empty nester. I'll be an empty
Don't ask me
nester.
about that, because I'm no good at that.
Um,
I'm real weak on that. My kids are gone. They've moved out, and I get emotional every other night for
oh,
yeah. Don't I'm not the one to ask about empty nest. I can tell other folks how to either spend their money but I can or
well, look,
I'm
my
not the one.
husband's overseas, so I can make the decision to be wherever I really want to. If I want to go overseas too and just be there with him, um, I don't know. I think the world is open, and I'll be able to make some decisions that are going to really be beyond anything I thought of before 50. Before the age of 50. I'm excited to see what is to come. But this next year, I have really planned out.
Love it, love it. I have nothing but high expectations for you. I say that, not begrudgingly. I have nothing. If you ever show up half cooked, half baked, I'm gonna let you know. Because again, I think we're at that point, and I don't have to worry about having that call, because I know every time Tanya Smith shows up, it's professional, it's well thought out. There's a pre, there's an intra, there's a post. There's everything is in its place the way it should be. And if it's not, you know how to quickly pivot and quickly autocorrect and not get stuck. That's third person looking in. That's what I've seen thus far from all the things that you do. So I know you're going to
Thank you.
continue to do that. And the Podfest session is just the first example that's coming up. And if we're going to use calendar years, that I see folks acknowledging that, acknowledging the work, acknowledging the goals and the mission, acknowledging what you do.
Thank you.
Again,
Thank
folks,
you very
notice
much.
we stayed strategic. We didn't get tactical. We didn't talk about individual componentry. We talked about mindset. We talked about management of time and resource. That's how you show up, and that's how you be successful. Tanya Smith is the truth, folks. If you're not following her already, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to get your stuff together. I'm gonna
Look,
put all.
Mr. Hicks, he is the truth. He's the truth right there. So thank you for having me on this show. Thank you for being open to the conversation and just driving it wherever it needs to be driven, because you always do that so well. So thank you
Thank
for
you.
that.
My pleasure, my friend. Thank you, folks. If you enjoyed the conversation, let me know. If you did not enjoy the conversation, still let me know as well. All right, because again, that's how we succeed, and that's how we get better. And I will make sure to contact you all about some other things. Because I see Doc over here. He over here peddling, pushing them Doc pops. I guess he, Doc. If you can get one in my blue 20557B, that's my hex code. Oh, see, Tanya got one.
This is my Doc Pop. Check it
Lord have
out.
mercy. Okay,
Doc
now
Rock.
it's on me, huh?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's on you. It's
I
on
was the
you.
first one to buy his merch when it went out. Does that count? Where's your coffee mug? Oh,
You
I
can
don't know
get
where it
some
is.
points, I suppose. But yeah, I got the new.
Okay, Lord, we done now. It's because now we going down a rabbit hole. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Appreciate y'all. Check out Tanya's channels. Like, subscribe, do all them things. Oh, see now, so he definitely gonna be there. Okay, Podfest, January, Florida. We out.